Thanks for joining us tonight. At the University of St. Thomas, that many students, 185, are finding out that their scholarships have been canceled. These are students who were training to be special education teachers. There was grant money for them to help pay for college because we have a major shortage of teachers in that field. So who canceled the grant? The Department of Education. Why? It was flagged as a DEI grant, and under President Trump's new vision for education, DEI, in his opinion, has no place. Here's Gordon Severson.
Yeah, this one was surprising.
Friday night, University of St. Thomas President Rob Vischer received a surprising email from the U.S. Department of Education that a grant program to address the ongoing shortage of special education teachers was being cut.
It's the students who've really been upended here.
According to the university, the decision will affect 185 students this semester who are receiving $10,000 a year in scholarships to take classes and eventually become a special education teacher. President Vischer says the grant program is being cut after being flagged by the Trump administration as a DEI initiative. Trump argues that DEI is unfair and that people should be judged on merit and not race.
Because under the Biden administration, grant applicants were required to explain how use of the funds could advance diversity in the teaching profession, which we, of course, did.
However, Vischer argues diversity is not the goal of this grant program. The goal is to encourage more students to pursue a career in special education.
And so we're appealing the decision to cancel the grant.
So it is completely out of bounds.
Senator Tina Smith is also planning to challenge this decision in Washington. She argues that since this grant money was already approved by Congress years ago, the president doesn't have the authority to cut it.
So it's a grant that has already worked its way through the legal process. So it puts St. Thomas in a terrible position.
A university spokesperson says students enrolled this semester will have their scholarships covered by the university, but students enrolled next school year will have to find alternative ways to pay for college. Meanwhile, President Vischer and other leaders are preparing for the possibility that more cuts could be coming soon.
For so many of these grants during the Biden administration, we were required to explain how funding could also advance diversity. The work we do to build a successful grant application last year is now the reason why the grants are canceled.
Has the education department reached out to you about other grants that are also being cut?
There are several things in flux right now, and we're trying to get information. This one is the one that had the most clarity.
Now, if more cuts are coming, President Vischer argues university leaders should have an opportunity to defend these programs because he says under the Biden administration, a lot of these grant applications required universities to talk about diversity, even if it wasn't the core goal of the grant program. He feels a lot of these grants could be altered to meet the requirements of this new administration.
Yeah, Gordon, and I wonder if that's part of what their appellate process will be to the Trump administration, the Department of Education, saying, hey, look, we did these grants following the rules, so could we get another application from you?
Yeah, and that's, I think, what they're worried about is that if that word diversity shows up anywhere in any of these grant applications, it could be flagged by this administration, even if the university presidents and the universities don't think that it's truly a diversity initiative. And I think that's what their argument is going to be.
All right, Gordon, we'll keep track of this story as it progresses. Thank you so much.